New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hello again, dear ones. Dr. Robert with you on a Friday evening. It's 7:30 on the Mountain Time Zone, and that means it's time for only one possible thing. Ask me anything. Exactly. It is the Ask Me Anything program. Happens on the last Friday of every month and brought to you by the really good people over at the Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley in Lafayette, Colorado. Thank you to those folks for being a sponsor on this program. And I thought, there it is. Yeah, I knew I had a banner for this program somewhere. So thanks for being with us here tonight. Thanks for being a part of what we're doing on the New Thought Media Network. Feel free to chime along, chat along, join in the conversation here simply by using your chat box. Whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube, let us know where you are. Where are you watching from? Oh, there's our Boulder Valley, by the way. Check that out. Check them out. Good people. Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley. So we've got a full 90 minutes of time together, and you can have your choice. You can listen to me babble on and on and on and on, or you can ask a question in the comments. And the nature of this show is ask me anything. I'll give you an answer. It might not be the answer you're looking for, but I'll give you an answer to any question that you might have. Ask me anything, and we'll get you a good answer to it. So you're welcome to drop a question in the chat box, in the comments of whatever program you're watching on, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere. Feel free to drop a comment and ask a question in the comment box. Or if you would like to come into the studio and be on the program live with me, then by all means drop me a comment and let me know that, and I will get you a link to come in. Hey there, Shaybird. How you doing, dear? Good to see you. Glad you're with us here this evening. I hope you're having a raring up. When I scheduled these things, I neglected to recognize that this was Labor Day weekend. So I'm going to just say it here and now. I hope you're revving up for a fun Labor Day weekend. And yeah, there we go. I hope anybody watching, whether you're watching now or in another time or in another time dimension, wishing you a happy Labor Day weekend. And I'm just going to be hanging around the house most of the weekend, to be honest. My beloved is out of town. She'll be home Sunday evening, so we will get to spend Monday together. Yeah. All right. Ask away. Questions. Ask me anything, and we'll get you an answer, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Either way, I'm sure there's somewhere where you can jot some comments into the comment box and give me something to talk about here, and asking me what it is that I want to talk about isn't fair. That's not a fair question, by the way. You can't just say, "Oh, talk about whatever you want to talk about." I want to know what questions you all have around the New Thought philosophy, around the various organizations that we serve, around the operations of New Thought Media Network. Maybe it's a question you'd like some insight, or would like to be in a love seat type of situation and ask a question about your life, and I'm happy to provide you with some insight. Here's one. Do you do you think people who are not so much fun on the planet change and become more benevolent on the other side? Shay, I'm just going to start off by saying I like that. People who are not so much fun. I like that. I like that. And one of the things I've been following lately, something I keep hearing is that so many of us look for soul contracts and want to know what our soul contract is. And what I'm hearing is that the soul contract here is to have fun. So if there's somebody on the planet right now that's not having fun, and I'm sure there are many. Number one, we have the opportunity to change our perspective on that, and we do have the ability to change what's happening to get away from the things that ain't so fun and get into fun. But let's talk about other people. So if somebody we perceive as not having fun on the planet, can they change and become more benevolent on the other side? Yes. The short answer is yes. The easy answer to get me out of this is yes. The longer answer is that in New Thought, we believe in the eternality of life. And so there in that eternality, eternal, life never ending, that what we on this side call the other side is not really an other. I'd invite you to change that thought in your head just a little bit. It's a dimension that we cannot fully grasp from the vibration that we're at right now. And I've looked at this in various ways. And one of the ways I always like to talk about this is that a plant is alive, but it takes a while for it to turn to the sun. And it doesn't have as much higher capacity thinking as humans do. Our furry creatures are alive. They have a bit higher of a comprehension, let's say, than our plant friends, the plant life. And so humans, we seem to think that we're the highest evolved, highest vibrating form of life on the planet. The dolphins might argue with us on that one, if we could speak dolphin. My point in all of this is that we're all vibrating at a different frequency, let's call it. And when our time is done on this planet, in this bodysuit, in this body temple, when our time is done and it's time to our life doesn't end. And I think we have proof of that through channels and channelers and other avenues of communication beyond the physical. What changes is our frequency. Because just like a plant is operating at a lower frequency, or maybe we could call it a denser frequency, and our furry creatures and furry friends are operating from a higher frequency than the plant life, but still a denser frequency or denser vibration than what we are as humans. And again, we can argue with the dolphins about this sometime in the future as to which one vibrates at a higher frequency, us or the dolphins. So when we leave the body temple, our soul, our essence, our life is free to radiate, to vibrate, to operate, to experience at a higher frequency than what this body is able to do. If you're with me, give a shout out in the chat box. Shay's voting for the Dolphins. So again, when we go beyond this body temple and this experience of life, because of this eternality, meaning my life never really ends. Now, whether I will be cognizant of the experiences I had, whether I will be able to maintain a connection with the frequency that I'm operating at the moment, I don't know that. There are those that will say yes, and are those that will say no. And there's a lot of evidence that people are visited by family, by different bonds. Once one has gone into the next dimensions of livingness, that we can communicate back in some ways, and many channelers have shared they were in communication with loved ones, especially immediately following an unexpected transition, and I have to believe that based on all of it, the cycle of our experience in human form and beyond is consistently going to be bringing us to a greater and greater realization of our oneness. And in that oneness, more benevolent as well. So people who aren't so much fun here on planet Earth at this time, number one, I don't want to give up the possibility or the possibility that they can change here on planet Earth. I don't want to give up. I don't want to condemn them to hell because they don't seem to be having too much fun from my perspective, or they're not fun in the way I like to have fun. And I have a sense that as every one of us awakens in a greater way to our oneness, to the majesty, to the magnificence of the oneness, whether we do that here on this planet in this bodysuit this time around, or life is eternal, perhaps we come around again in a different body. Don't know that one. But ultimately, the more I believe the moral arc of our lives is towards more good and more enlightenment and more good. And if so, my experience, those that communicate from beyond this body temple tend to be benevolent. Yes. So Shay's saying that's exactly why I'm asking, because I used to communicate with my ancestors, but I don't want to anymore because they were such jerks. It's like a haunting almost. Had to banish them from my energy field. Okay, so absolutely, like self-care always comes first, both in the body temple and in the mental realms and in the spiritual world. In every form of who we are now or previously or to be, self-care always comes first. So, and if there isn't a voice, an entity, a soul, a connection that is less than benevolent, don't play. Don't buy into it. We don't have to receive every communication or transmission that is sent our way. You all have heard me talk about this before, that this concept that we're transceivers. We're transmitting and receiving. It's a both and. We're not just always sending out love, always sending out love, always sending out love. We got to take in what's around us. And so in the receiving part, in what we're allowing into our experience of life, we get to be discerning. We get to turn up the volume. We get to change the frequency. We get to change the station. I said this to my dearly beloved Laura last week, and I'm really liking it. I'm making this suggestion that every one of us, all of us, spend time every single day, every day, listening to someone other than ourselves. Now, this isn't just, oh yeah, honey, I'll pick up the eggs while I'm at the store, or, oh, the kids need a ride, or, hey, it's not the basic listening. It's a deep experience of listening to some form, some expression of truth outside of yourself every single day. If that's Abraham Hicks, listen to Abraham Hicks. If it's the council, listen to the council. If it's this channel or that channel or this intuitive or this influencer or that influencer, I highly suggest you don't listen to the AI, the money grab type stuff that's out there. There's so much stuff out there right now that you can tune into that is an AI generated script dropped into an AI generated background. And I'm all for using AI to help us understand the world better, to communicate better, but that's not what we're talking about here. What I'm talking about is listening to good, balanced, positive, intentional type of materials. So Joe Dispenza, right? Again, Abraham Hicks. Everything I've ever heard from Abraham Hicks has either proven to be spot on or just feels right. Listen with your feelings, yeah. What mental environment are we creating? Who are we listening to outside of ourselves? Because it's I've got Shay asking a question here and making a suggestion. I'm going to come around to it, Shay, here. Because the wisdom that we can find, the wisdom is out there, and the wisdom reveals itself through so many different avenues. And if all I'm listening to is myself, there is such a greater opportunity for me to slip into the ego and start letting the ego run everything, rather than listening to the divine and let the divine run everything. So, and maybe what I'm going to do here is a little bit of both. If I find the right, here it is. How about if I read I have a spoken word piece that I'd like to read. How's that, Shay? Shay's saying, have a little fun, do a divination by picking a book and turning to any page and starting to read. Just a thought. Yep. And when I saw you write that, I said, how about one of these spoken word pieces? Because this for me is a somewhat newer place that I've been playing. And Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley here in Lafayette, Colorado, we're making a little switch here, but starting in September on the 4th Sunday of the month in the afternoon, we do a great big potluck celebration and get everybody together with a whole bunch of food and have an open mic night for the community. So the next one will be on the 28th. And we don't live stream these. Maybe we will in the future. But right now, we're having fun as a community, bringing forward this idea and sharing it with the local surrounding area and the local community. So if you happen to be in the Boulder area on September 28th, will be the next one that you might want to join us for that. So here's something that has been coming through, and it's been changed a little bit, but it's a piece that I've been writing, and I'm going to share that. It's called "We Are the Ones," and I originally created this for a June reading. In the early part of June was the first time I read this publicly. So let's give it another go. What do you think? They keep asking, where's the change? Where's the justice? Where's the peace? As if we're still waiting on someone else to show up with the answers. But what if the answer is us? What if the sacred isn't coming because it's already here? What if the healing isn't ahead because it's within? We keep searching the sky for signs when the miracle is in the mirror. It's not just possible, it's inevitable. If we choose it, not later, not when it's easy, now. You say you want a world that works for all, then stop hiding, start building, start becoming. The illusion is always this, that we're separate, that we're strangers, that your joy and my grief aren't braided together in the bones of the earth. But I see you. I am you. And we're not small, we're not random, we're not powerless. We are one breath, one body, one blazing, beautiful, busted open family of light. Say it again. We are the ones. We are the bridge between silence and song, between suffering and solution, between the world that is and the one that could be. So let's stop apologizing for caring too much, for crying in public, for speaking in poetry instead of spreadsheets. Let's stop shrinking just to make the old world comfortable. Let's get loud with our love. Let's get dangerous with our peace. Let's make unity inconvenient again, not the kind that ignores difference, but the kind that reveres it, that needs it, that builds something stronger from the full spectrum of who we are. This isn't about sameness, it's about sacred connection. This isn't about retreating, it's about revealing. This isn't about escape, it's about engagement. We're here to create what's never been done. A planet that thrives not at the cost of life, but in celebration of it. A sacred economy of compassion, a politics of presence, a culture of reverence. Not in theory, in practice. So plant gardens, pay reparations, write manifestos, feed your neighbors, learn each other's names, sing into microphones, speak at town halls, make peace louder than pain. Don't just believe in oneness, embody it. In your rhythms, in your rituals, in your relationships, in your rage, in your rest, in the way you touch the earth with your feet and your choices. Because this world we imagine, this sacred, luminous, wild one, it's not a fantasy. It is a future that begins when we do. So rise with me, risk with me, remember with me. No more sidelines, no more shrinking, no more waiting for permission to be the sacred. You were born for this. You were made of stardust and promise. You are made of ancestors and vision. You are the prayer that someone whispered 1,000 years ago, hoping it would bloom. And now, here you are. So step in, show up, say yes, and say it with your whole life. because this world needs your fire, your softness, your truth, your stubborn refusal to let love lose. This isn't just poetry, it's prophecy. And you are the fulfillment. Ask me anything. Never know what you're going to get when you ask me anything. We'll circle back around to Shay real quick here before we wrap this section up. That's why I join your own visioning every Monday. Thank you, Shay. I'm glad you're with us on Monday morning visioning. So, and I'm listening to God in a structured fashion, at least that often. Exactly. Exactly. If nothing else, once a week. If nothing else, once a month. But I really encourage everyone, find those places, find those reminders. Perhaps it's a book. Perhaps it's it is a specific video channel. Perhaps it's a specific voice from a video channel. And what I love, here's the other thing I love. I love this. You can play with YouTube to help you discover new, and not just through your searching, but as you if you have a topic or you want to get into some more of the spiritualist esoteric things of all of this and start listening to some channels and stuff, all you got to do is find one and watch a few different videos. And if you like what you hear and it makes sense, and you enjoy the person who's the voice of the channel and the person who's sharing, then listen for truth. And if it feels like truth and it sounds like truth and it makes you feel good when you're done, then it's truth. And if it sounds like limitation and, oh, be afraid and be very afraid and, oh, you're so bad and, oh, you shouldn't have done this and anything is wrong out there, then don't listen to that. And what'll happen is YouTube will start to show you even more and more options within that subgenre, within that concept. Well, I love it. You want to learn how to build a car? Start watching car building videos on YouTube, and before long you'll have a whole stream full of all kinds of different people teaching you how to build a car, and you can learn how to build a car. And when you're done building a car, then stop watching those videos, and YouTube will want to show you something else. Let's say now you need to learn how to put a roof on your house. Start watching roofer videos and you'll get more of those. If you want to have a deeper relationship with the divine, start watching videos of people that have deeper relationships with the divine, and find one or two and give them some attention. And listen to someone other than yourself on a daily basis. Maybe it's 2 or 3, 4, 5. I got a whole bunch of them. that I've been listening to, that I've been checking. And some, that some of those messengers bring forth something that says, yeah, I like. And then there's times when some of those messengers bring forth stuff that's like, hey, that don't sound right. That don't work. That's not how it works. We see this in our let's call it humanistic experience of life, that perhaps over the last few years with the Me Too movement, and specifically in music, it always seems like there's another story of an artist who use their power and influence to pull some sexual shenanigans, let's call it, or to take advantage of someone, or more than one someone's. And when that happens, we have to remember that as as love and light as that artist may seem out in the world, if they haven't done the work necessary, it's not a beneficial to me, it's not beneficial to bring into my environment. I don't listen to the same music I used to listen to. I can't, because the vibration pulls me down. And Shay is applauding the algorithms. Yes, Shay. And the algorithms work the same way for music. It'll bring us good voices in both the music world and in the spoken world and in the intellectual world. Which reminds me, wow, Science Mind Magazine did something this week, was really, really cool. And I guess I should find if I have that video still up and available. You're going to give me a minute and I'm going to chat while I look around. But because I'd love to give you the link to this. The magazine, the archives, Science Mind Archives put out a new piece of content that is a recently discovered interview between here it is, 1954 radio interview with Aldous Huxley, Gustav Stromberg, and James Crenshaw. Now, if you're not if you're not a student of philosophy and deep mind sciences, some of those may sound like who, but I'm going to drop the chat here in. I'm going to drop the link in the chat box. It should come through for you. It probably, if it doesn't come through on the channel you're watching, I'm sorry, but Facebook does some strange things sometimes. And I'm going to share this with you so you can see it. See what it looks like. There we go. And you can see I'm only 9 minutes into it. There's another half an hour. I haven't had a chance to finish it because it came out today. And but a rare radio interview was discovered inside the Science of Mind archives that, to the best of our knowledge, no one has heard and no one has had a chance to experience. Sorry, there's what it looks like. And again, we dropped the link here in the chat box, and if you didn't get it, let me know. I'll get it to you in another way. So I remember a phrase, and I'm going to paraphrase it badly, and I don't remember where I heard it. So anybody that might be watching, if you know where I heard this, let me know. But it's something to the effect of, don't listen to what I'm telling you, listen to what I'm listening to. Don't listen to what I'm telling you, read what I'm reading, listen to what I'm listening to. And I remember that when I first got into this, here's an interesting twist. We're going to go down this rabbit hole. Very interesting twist, because when I first found New Thought, I still had a tape collection. You guys all remember cassette tapes, right? I still had boxes and boxes of cassette tapes, and mostly Grateful Dead, although a number of other bands. And most of my Fish collection was on digital, was on CDs. So, and other bands that were on CD, I still have a very large box of CDs stashed away in the closet with some amazing music on it. But before I digress too far, when I stepped into Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living and Lara and I found this philosophy of New Thought, there were so much of it that was so new to me and so much of it that wasn't. So we would have tapes. We didn't do CDs just yet at that time. They were out, but for the church, they were still making tapes. And you could get a tape of this week's talk for 99 cents, for $1 or whatever. And I started and there were often boxes of free tape. There was so much tape. And if you go to the Science of Mind archives, you can look and see how much audio tape was created by ministers in this movement across time. And so I would get as much as I could. I would grab as many of those as I could. And they were in my car. And now this is pre-smartphone. So yeah, we had the internet, but we didn't have absolute instant access to everything all the time the way we do now. So I would listen to them in the car, and I'd listen to them at home. And I listened to a lot of tapes that filled me with reminders. Now, I don't know that I could go, I don't have those in my head. It's, I can't go back and say, oh, there was this one guy on this one Sunday, and this was the words that he said, because you'd listen to the same guy a lot, and or the same gals a lot. And I found myself being more and more drawn into the philosophy and the wisdom and the way of application and how to communicate this. That for me, it was key to constantly be filling my environment with voices beyond my own. If you're just joining us, folks, you wonder what you're wandering into. This is Ask Me Anything on New Thought Media Network, thanks in part to our friends at the Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley. And we've started off on a pretty wild tangent here tonight. And my answering so far has centered around, and I think this is the message I would most hope you can go home with today, is every day be listening to wisdom that is in voices other than your own, and listen to someone other than yourself. If you spend the entire day only listening to your own mind, only listening to your voice in your head, I think you're limiting yourself. Find channels of wisdom. Find the avenues of truth that are, and again, I'm finding more and more and more. So whether it's a New Thought minister, whether it is a spiritualist, whether it is Aldous Huxley from 1954, whether it's in the music that we listen to, find those voices that remind you of your greatness. Find those voices that help you remember that you are not broken. You are not flawed. You are absolutely perfect. And I was taught very early on that the definition of perfect means whole and complete with nothing missing. I sometimes like to say nothing absent as well. So you are perfect. Who you are is absolutely perfect. I want you to hear that. I want you to feel that. I want you to bring that into your body and make it such a part of your being that you are radiating that same truth back out to others. That you are not broken. You are perfect, whole and complete, nothing missing, nothing absent. Who you are on this planet makes a difference. How you show up matters. You bring a unique set of gifts and skills and talents to this thing called life that only you can bring. Yeah, there's others that do it kind of like you do, and there's those that might sound like you do, but nobody. No, there might even be those doing the same exact project you're doing, but nobody can do it the way you can do it. And in this entire universe of over 8 billion people, you're here. That means you're necessary. I was listening to someone that a minister out of West Sacramento, Reverend Beverly, Reverend Tanya Beverly. I keep wanting to call you Reverend Beverly. I'm sorry, Tanya. Reverend Tanya Beverly. And she did a spoken word piece at the Anton Conference last year. I was watching it as part of prep for an interview this past week with her, which you can find on the network. And in it, she uses a line that says, you got to remember, your sperm won. Think about that. In the majesty and the mystery and the magic that is life, your sperm, the one that made you, was the winner, not a loser, not second place, not enough, but the winner of it all, the winner of the race that created you, the winner of the amazing biological mystery and miracle that created you, because who you are is necessary. How you show up is necessary for the evolution of human consciousness. I know that truth. I know that truth of you. And I'll tell you, those that I'm listening to, and the people I'm talking with, and the messages that I'm getting, and the downloads that are coming through me are saying much the same thing. Now is the time to step up, not to play small. Heck, it was even in that poem I just read, wasn't it? Step up. Let's go back and look. I got a few of them. But that one was, no. Rise with me, risk with me, remember with me. No more sidelines, no more shrinking, no more waiting for permission to be the sacred. You are the divine right now, in this moment. And I don't believe I even have to invite you to bring that to the world. I think you already are. I think you know that feeling, you know that urge, that drive deep within that says, yes, I am here to be this expression of the greatness in the world. Yes, I am here to demonstrate and manifest this great, great vision for my life, for my work. And no, I will not entertain your limitations. I had this conversation with somebody just yesterday, one of my private coaching clients. And we were in a deep, deep conversation. And I kept hearing this little refrain, this little refrain that said, I can't believe what you're saying. That I hear you, Robert, and yet that's not the truth for me. And I had to remind this client, we must drive away every voice of limitation in our lives, even if that voice of limitation is myself, even if I were that voice of limitation. And I told this client very clearly, even if you ever hear me give you a line like, well, maybe you should just accept the fact that yada, 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 or maybe you should just, if you hear me being the voice of limitation, tell me to stop, talk to the hand. Talk to the hand. If you're going to be, if any voice you hear is a voice of limitation, say no. No, thank you. I don't need your limiting belief peeing on my parade. I don't need your limiting voice or belief trying to convince me that I can't do something. And if we think about it, how many times have we heard somebody say, go ahead, tell me I can't do something? And it gives them the drive and the determination to prove that they can. If someone else's disbelief in you drives you even more committed, more passionate, give it more gas to accomplish that, okay. But don't buy into their bullshit. Don't buy into their disbelief. Don't make their limitation your limitation. Don't make their limitation your limitation. Because you are a limitless being. We all are. By our very nature, we are absolutely limitless. Just took a look at the clock on the wall on the clock there, the clock on the wall there. And it's telling me that I need to take a quick break and a sip, and I'm going to let you. I want to share something that we created here recently and tell you a little bit more about some of the fun that we've got planned coming up in the fall. So give me a minute. I'll be right back. Promise.
What I love about Anton is the community, the people. I get to come here every year and pick up right where I left off with so many wonderful soul-centered friends.
This is our first time here, and I can't tell you the joy I've felt listening to the wonderful words of the people who are teaching us and sharing with us.
I've enjoyed every topic that's been talked about, and I've enjoyed the people. They're knowledgeable, they're loving, and it's a great space to spend a few days for yourself and for others.
You feel the love. It is literally palpable.
Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer, Board President of the affiliated New Thought Network, Anson, speaking to you live and direct from Unity Village outside of Kansas City. We are a beloved spiritual community, and we'd love to have you join us.
So if you're thinking about it and you'd like to have a deep dive into your own soul and connect with others that are doing the same thing, then you might want to consider coming to the Anton Retreat next year in 2025 here at Unity Village. Peace and blessings to you.
Yes. The affiliated New Thought Network. Going to be a great time, and I invite you to join us if you can. Registration at the antn.org. All right. Back into the questions. Hey, it's the New Earth Monk. Good evening, Brother Diego. Sending love to you from Camp Cedar Ridge as well. Here we go. Camp Cedar Ridge. Discover the good. Discerning camp aficionados will recognize the black rim on this hat. And I finally got one of the originals. This is the first generation. All right, bucket hat. Shay, we released a number of different videos on New Thought Media Network. If you head into the YouTube channel, there should be a playlist, I believe, or they will be with a search. Let's go check. I'm not in my account. I will give anyone that wants a guess on how many, how many different YouTube channels I have access to. That could be a good one. How many different, all right, it's quiz time. Ask me anything. I'm going to ask you anything. How many different YouTube channels do I currently have? Do I have access to posting on? Do I have access to? All right. And let's search across here. I am doing a search for that. I thought we had a playlist for those. And if we do, I'm not finding it. Title. There it is. Okay. New Thought at the Parliament of World Religions. Let me get you this. We have 12 videos there. They started doing this thing here with YouTube, and I don't like it, and makes it harder to. All right, there we go. Link coming through the chat box. And if you go and just do a search for the Parliament of the World's Religions, you'll find our playlist for that. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody click that link. Tell me that it came through. Shay, do me a favor. Click that link and make sure that it lets you go see the playlist. Okay. We're going to take that love from Cedar Ridge again. Good seeing you, brother. Trusting you're winding up the summer season. It's Labor Day weekend, and winding up the summer season here. So, all right, I can see you're out there, folks. It's Ask Me Anything on the New Thought Media Network. Feel free to drop a comment, a question in the chat box of whatever platform you're watching on right now, both YouTube or Facebook, and help us continue on with the conversation. And otherwise, I'll just sit here and keep going on and blabbing and on and about this and that and the other thing. The season's coming to it. I bet it is. Yeah. That's good, though. Time for some rest and rejuvenation up there. Folks, if you don't know about Camp Cedar Ridge, Vernonia, Oregon, and west of Portland, out on the peninsula out there. Wow, what a neat place. And it's the current organization that's running the camp there. A lot of new thoughters, a lot of conscious people, and some great people with a whole lot of experience in the camp industry as well have really brought that property, raised the consciousness of that property. And so after just a few years, a couple years now, 2-3 years of being on the property, the team that's there is really, really raising up the vibration of it. So if you get a chance and you're in the area, or if not, just go there anyway. Even if you're not in the area, make a plan to go visit Camp Cedar Ridge. I'm sure Diego will give you a big hug. And the whole town, yes. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Here's my understanding of how this all works. So this is the good work of New Thought. This is the good work of the Science of Mind philosophy, because the way I hear the story, and correct me as we go along, Diego, is the town of Vernonia is a small, historically logging community, and over time, Casey and her team got involved in not only after school programs and other things around the community, but what happened is the town's only laundromat was run down and was closing. It was basically, I guess, had been almost abandoned as a business and was closing, and the town was going to be left without a laundromat. And Casey had been for a little while, and her team had been relying on going to this laundromat to kind of make ends meet with the laundry schedule up on the property, and it's not that far. And so the idea came forward of, let's buy the laundry, let's buy the business, and move in and clean everything up and fix up the laundromat and put in better Wi-Fi and put in community. So the community, and it's turning into a little bit more of a community hub, less of a, we got to make money at a business. And now I understand they are making money, and I'm not about none of that's my business. But my understanding is that through the use of these philosophies, through the demonstration of this philosophy, they have been able to reimagine what was a failing business in this town and bring forth a vibration, an energetic cultivation, a vibration and a consciousness of community where now people can come. The machines are good. So Diego, so we bought it mainly to offer the town free Wi-Fi. Now that's where I do Sunday broadcasts of CSL services. Yes. Thank you, Diego. Diego is one of our producers, is our lead live producer for Sunday mornings, and has been doing that with us since the very beginning. Way back in 2020, Brother Diego got on board with us here at New Thought Media Network, and it's always been great to know that you're thriving up there at Camp Cedar Ridge, my brother, and that this good work is continuing in so many places. So, and that's what I want. That's something I want for New Thought Media Network, is to be, to be a center of consciousness where people can be inspired. They can listen to voices beyond their own, be in spiritual community, both virtually and connect. But for us to be able to promote and highlight and focus in on the great work that is being done by individuals and communities across this country and others across the planet, with science in mind as a basis. I've been saying this for a while. I think a lot of my colleagues are as well. There's a new form of ministry emerging on the planet at this time, and it is small community. It is small base. It is all Thich Nhat Hanh's quote about the next Buddha being a spiritual community is learning to play out. It is starting to play out. We're starting to see it. We're creating islands of peace in different places around the world. And that's one of the things I envision for New Thought Media Network, is that we're going to find our own physical home and put down some physical roots and a place where people know they can come and be together, and continue to find continue to find ways to bring this message out through the virtual channels, but start to build a physical location and a physical presence so we can be together. Because what I keep hearing, community more than ever, community now more than ever. And it's important, and it's going to continue to be even more and more important as we go along. Community now more than ever. I tell this story not that often, Diego, but I tell it enough I tell it enough that when I first recognized that the need there at the camp for you, and that your desire matched the camp immediately, I also realized that you're one of my strongest volunteers, that you were the guy that would always say yes to everything. And it felt like I was saying, okay, but now I'm going to let you go do that for somebody else. And we have missed you around here, Diego. And we know that your spirit and your love, and that you are truly with us, in all ways. So, now maybe you're starting to tease me, entice me a little there. Perhaps that is part of it all. Who knows? New Thought Media Network, live from Vernonia, Oregon. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't quite ring like somewhere high in the Rockies, but maybe it's time to come back down to sea level a little bit. Shay's asking where we at on the community. Shay, it's always the ever revealing. It's always revealing itself. And what I have found is, oftentimes projects go a lot slower than we would like. I still have, we still have the newthoughtvillage.org. Let me put that in there. And I still keep my eyes on potential properties. And I still, oh, well, I just don't watch that. It won't go anywhere. That was the typo of the day, folks. Nudie thought. I don't like the way that sounds. newthoughtvillage.org. Let's try again. And so constantly looking at different properties. Something just came across just yesterday or the day before in Evergreen, 9 cabins. $3 million, something like that. 40 acres, I think is what it was. No, maybe that was a different one. So people are constantly sending me properties that we can look at. And here's my point in that. Now is the time we're holding that vision. If we don't talk about it, if we don't let it be known that we're ready, that we have ideas. Now, I also have some voices, some friends, some colleagues that are saying that really northern Boulder Valley, Lafayette, Erie, that it's no mistake I've been attracted to supporting the Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley, that they're supporting this program and other programs on the network. But heck, Vernonia, you never know what might be in the works. Yeah, Diego, you never know. You got good internet there now. I remember the first time we went up to Vernonia, Diego, I bet you remember we ran 500 feet of Cat 5 cable from the store's internet router down across the field to try to get enough internet down to the dining hall. And we didn't do too good at broadcasting on that event because of it. But we never know where Spirit is taking us. And yes, we were struggling pretty hard on that gig. But we got a good workout carrying cameras up and down to the labyrinth and back. So, how much fun we've had. I've only been there a few times. I can imagine the great stories you have now. So, my point in all of this is stay open to the possibilities. We have to stay open to the possibilities and follow the divine when the divine beckons, when we hear the call, when, again, I said this earlier, right? If you're listening to someone and it feels like guilt, or it feels wrong, or it feels like limitation, or it then let go of all of that. Let go of all of that. Because one, it's only going to keep you stuck. And two, like a client I was working with yesterday, when we get stuck in the pattern of disbelief or limitation, it cycles and cycles and cycles and cycles and cycles until we can't get out of it. Until think of it as kind of a tornado that touches ground. It cycles and cycles and cycles, and you can't get out of it. Now, if you're prepared, you can anchor through it, and that's another story. But I want to be, when it comes to community, I'm in this place where I'm letting what is cycling around in a good way cycle around. I'm letting the vision reveal itself. And when that perfect and right place does come, and when the perfect and right financial situation does happen, and when all the stars align, as it were, then we're going to be ready to say yes to it, because we're spending all this time now in the vision. We're spending all this time now getting clear on what could work or what wouldn't work. And okay, this one doesn't really work. And how do we suspend our disbelief and believe something that seems unbelievable? wow, I had this quote jump into my head. I've done something unbelievable. I do something unbelievable before or impossible before breakfast every day. Anybody know that quote? I forget where. This sounds a little pithy sometimes, Shay, but the truth is you got to just do it. You've got to get really strong with yourself and say, talk to the hand. Something comes up, I can't do that. Talk to the hand. If you have the idea, then you are capable. Then there is an avenue through which you can accomplish. It doesn't mean I have the skills right this moment. But as we were talking about earlier, I can learn anything on YouTube in a half an hour, in a half a day. You can learn to do almost anything. Now, surgery, heart surgery, brain surgery, you might want to, I don't know. Maybe I'm a voice of limitation there. But ultimately, what this philosophy teaches us is if we pay attention, if we give our attention and intention to a project, then there's nothing we cannot accomplish. It might take a while, might take a long time. And yet we keep talking about it, keep staying in the vibration, keep building the belief, keep telling myself, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. I know it's an old book, but we all heard it growing up and it all helped us when we were little kids. Why wouldn't that truth help us today? I think I can, I think I can. The stars are aligning. Again, who are we listening to? Are we listening to that inner critic and that ego voice that wants us to play small? Or are we going to listen to our big boy, big girl voices that say, you can do this? Shay, I know a little bit about your dream. And I know in our conversations that you are way open to that dream taking shape in perhaps a location or a form other than you've imagined, but you're also doing the work to go out and explore the locations that come your way, to have the conversations with people that are leading you to the finances, to the location, to the permitting, to all the stuff. And Ernest Holmes said, when things appear to be the darkest, that is the supreme time to do this work for ourselves. That is the supreme time when things don't look like they're going our way, when things don't look like when they're working. That is the supreme time to prove to ourselves, no one else, but to ourselves, that we know how to use these laws, that we know how to use these principles and these practices to create the life we truly desire. So, get Bob Newhart on your YouTube playlist. The Bob Newhart skit, Stop It. And some people might be laughing right now, and some of you might be going, what? Look it up on YouTube. Bob Newhart, Stop It. And anytime you hear that limitation, anytime you hear doubt, anytime you hear anything other than yes, I can, and yes, it is, say, stop it. Get thee behind thee, Satan. No, that's not the truth of it. That's not how it works. Stop it. Stay with the one. Never deviate from the one. Stay with the truth. Never deviate from the truth. Oh, maybe that's the skit we should do. No matter what, stay with the one and never deviate from it. You hear? You with me? You got it? Remember, this means yes. This means no. This means I have no idea what you're talking about, Robert. And you don't have, having some fun. Thank you, folks. Look at this. Hour and a half almost over. We've only got 20 minutes left. Only got 20 minutes left. And I bet somebody else out there has a question, or somebody's got another question, or a different question, or a crazy question, or maybe there are no questions. I'm sure somebody's got a question. Either that or you're all just sitting out there watching me babble along thinking, well, is he going to stop, or can do you want to try to stump me on a question? Would you rather I just continue to babble along, because I'm all jazzed up now. You get me talking about new thought. You get me talking about what's possible. What's realist? I want to. How do I say? What is realistic from a completely mystic perspective? Am I busy on October 8th? Yes. Diego, my brother, October 8th. Let's see. What am I doing on October 8th? Well, that's a Wednesday. Yes, I will actually be at Unity Village on October 8th, part of the Affiliated New Thought Network annual retreat. And if you didn't know it, I have a keynote address that evening. So I will be offering a keynote address. The title is Beyond. I had it. It starts with the word beyond, and then I forget what my subtitle is. But Tuesday, October 8th at Unity Village. And folks, if you can be, this is even bigger than me. There's a lot of things going on that are bigger than me. But that week, I'm going to be, I'm planning to bring a whiz bang of a talk. Let's just say that. I intend to bring a barn burner of a talk to New Thought that night. Diego's going to be here in Denver. Okay. So I will, I'll be at Unity Village. And the night before, the 7th, Tuesday night, the 7th of October, if you're not going to Albuquerque with Diego for the Balloon Festival, if you're not going to Albuquerque with Diego for the Balloon Festival, and you're anywhere near Kansas City that week, Tuesday night, the Affiliated New Thought Network is doing a freebie at Unity Village with Ricky Byers Beckwith and Reverend Martha Creek. It is going to be off the hook. Raising the Roof open house. You can register for free at antn.org and let us know you're going to be there. It's going to be a fun week in Unity Village that week. And Ricky's concert, they have a choir. They're already rehearsing. We're going to have 11 songs by Ricky and the choir, and a talk by Martha and a couple other surprises that I can't talk about yet. Shh. Big announcement coming Tuesday, October 7th. You want to stay tuned for that. You want to, and even if you're not anywhere near Unity Village, you can tune in virtually to that on the 7th. You can get the whole conference virtually as well. Register again at anton.org. So, that's where I'll be on the 8th. Thanks for the question, Daniel. I love you, brother. Sorry you're not going to be here. I will personally make sure that I say hi to Ricky for you specifically. And knowing Ricky, she will remember. Or, hey, Diego, come in a few days early and pick your mom up and take a detour to Unity Village. I know it's not on the way to Albuquerque. It's several hours. It's 8 or 9 hours in the wrong direction from Albuquerque. But, hey, maybe come in a little early to town. So, I want everybody to know. I do this, and I do what Spirit calls because I truly do feel that my life is a much, much better life 20 years plus down the road from learning about this philosophy. And from the first day I walked in the door, I learned the skills that I would need to traverse raising 2 children, a career in ministry. And along the way, I've made countless amazing friends, some of which I don't see even at once a year. Some I see only once every couple of years or whatever it might be. Some that I get to connect with virtually, and friends I've never met in the physical realm, friends that I have only ever worked with virtually. And yet all of it has been made, I believe, easier, more fun, more joyous because of this New Thought philosophy. And the dark nights of the soul, those periods of disbelief, those times where I question, what the flip am I doing? There's a good old shout out to my Mormon influence. Not that I was heavily influenced by the Mormons. I just lived around them for about 10 years. So in it all, I believe I have had a much better life because of New Thought, because I have had New Thought in my life, because I am a student of New Thought. And yeah, I got titles and accolades and such. And I always want to remind myself that I am a student of this philosophy. I am a student of how we bring forth New Thought in the 21st century, in the 22nd century. How we leave a legacy so those in the 23rd century know that they were never alone, and that that their ancestors were part of a change, were part of a revelation, were part of the era. And man, we've been saying this so much lately. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and boy, is now the time. Holy yes. Now more than ever, the New Thought people, the people of New Thought, have an opportunity to raise up a vibration, a consciousness of love and peace and connection and compassion and oneness that will save this planet. And that's not hyper. That's truth. We are the ones who can demonstrate. We are the ones who know this philosophy, and we are the ones more than ever necessary to bring forth this truth so that all of humanity can be awakened. Thank you, Diego. You are a favorite part of me as well. I love the friendship we have developed over the years. I guess the question is, are you coming on air? Oh, I said that, you froze. All right. Are you coming on air? Am I bringing you on air? There's a nod.
Why not?
Why not? Ladies and gentlemen, brother,
the YouTube broadcast of it, so I didn't hear the echo.
Okay. I was just going to call you Reverend.
Why, thank you.
Diego Reyes, all the way from up in Camp Cedar. Oh, I don't have one of those. Wait a minute.
Now this is an old original shirt. This even predates me.
Oh wow. Okay. We'll have to you'll have to leave that here sometime when you visit.
I lucked into it myself.
Right on.
The things are going well here. I was just coming in to create studios for Sunday, and I saw you were doing this, so I thought, oh, I better stop in and say hi.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to see you as well.
You as well.
And hey, next month maybe you come back and we'll have a conversation next month again.
I'm always up for it.
Perfect. I love it. All right, before you go, what's been the best part of your summer?
Ooh. I'd have to say the weddings. I like the weddings here. I get a DJ for a lot of the weddings. I get to do the fun stuff here at Camp Cedar Ridge. I've grown to call myself the Camp Mushroom just because I'm the fun guy. And now, since local businesses in town have heard me doing emceeing and announcing here certain events, one of the businesses, the music store in town, has wrangled me in to learn how to be an auctioneer. So I can auctioneer for their thing coming up. It actually is coming up in the beginning of October, right before I leave to come out there.
Nice.
So
right on.
Got to go do my auctioneer practicing.
Okay. I want to see video of that.
Oh, I'm sure they'll probably, I'm sure some people will be getting some.
All right. Or I'll have to, now that I know that, I'm going to have to find a way to get you an auctioneering gig somewhere.
No. Well, let me find out how it goes first.
Okay.
Who to give?
Come on now. You're being called to this. You're going to do great. We all know that.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Well, it was so good to see you. I got to go make some Sunday studios.
Right on. Thanks for dropping in, brother.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye now. We are building community, folks. One relationship at a time. We're building community, one relationship at a time, one connection at a time, virtually, physically, in the real world, in the virtual world, in the spiritual world. So I appreciate each and every one of you that's being with us here tonight. And whether you're watching and wondering what you found, or whether you're ready to party, yes, Shay, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being part of what we're doing. And if you have it in your budgets, as it were, we really would appreciate and welcome your contributions to this network. We are a 501c3. Everything we do is based on donations, and we have a whole bunch of committed givers, different organizational sponsors, all of those things. I'm going to take just a quick minute to say thank you to all of them, but we're not going anywhere. We're not done yet. I still got some time before we're done. So let's just say thank you and to all of our sponsors and donors, and we'll be right back after this. Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our organizational sponsors and individual donors. We appreciate your financial commitment to helping us bring this network out into the world. And again, remember, folks, big, huge shout out to our lead sponsor for tonight's program, the Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley. Head on over to their website, cslbouldervalley.org. Sign up for their newsletter if you're live and in the Boulder Valley area. You might just catch me at one of their events, and so much going on. We're working to make that newsletter a really, really valuable resource to learn more about the happenings in the New Thought world. So check us out, cslbouldervalley.org. I'm Dr. Robert, and we are just about done here for the night. I've got just a few minutes on the clock. And if you want to fill in with some answers, you got to ask some questions. So I probably have time for one or maybe two more questions, or I'll just babble around for another minute or two until we get done for the night. So it's almost 9 o'clock here on the Mountain Time Zone. Anybody still watching on the East Coast, welcome to the late night show on the East Coast. And our Pacific friends, well, you still got time to go out if you want after this, but thanks again for being a part of what we're doing here. 5 years in, and no signs of stopping, and lots of signs of evolution. I believe right now, with all that's happening on the planet, with all the wars, all the suffering, all the confusion, all the swinging pendulums that are happening, that some of the wisest wisdom, yeah, let's go with that. Some of the most grounding wisdom I've ever heard is to remember that the moral compass bends towards the good. The moral arc of humanity is taking us towards the good, towards a world that works for all, towards a world of love and light where there are no borders, and there is no one hungry, and there is no one without a roof over their head, where there is enough of everything, and there already is. We just have to awaken to it. Enough of everything so that everyone may be lifted up. That's the work I strive to do through every day that I have left on this planet. I intend to be an influence, a voice, a channel for good, for the one. And that is enough. Thank you for being with us. If you'd like to join us in any of the upcoming events that we'll be at, one that I did not mention and I want to, so let me go find the flyer for that. Coming up in just a couple of weeks, Reverend LZ and I, as well as other New Thought Media Network show hosts, Cynthia Breeze, Reverend Gill and Robin Rice, Olmsted, myself, Reverend Z, all New Thought Media Network hosts. We're all going to be in Vegas along with the Center for Spiritual Living Las Vegas. Look at that, $200 for a all weekend pass, including a private concert with Gary Lynn Floyd on Saturday night, and so much Friday night, and so much more. Plan to join us coming up September 12th through the 14th. Head over to LasVegasCSL.org for more details, or join us at the affiliated New Thought Network's summer retreat at Unity Village. And check this out.
What I can say is, wow, there are so many New Thought celebrities in the room. I am telling you,
this is a real family reunion. And if you've never been, believe me when I tell you, you are part of the family. You want to come, you want to learn, you want to be hugged on, you want to be loved on. This is the place to be. So
it's a lot of fun. It's like a family reunion. We get together, we laugh and we cry, and we're together and we deepen, and it's a lot of fun.
When I think about all the retreats I've been to, all of the summers I've spent going to many places to get spiritual food, nothing really quite does it the way Anton does. There's a family sense here. You come here and you are surrounded by loved ones.
It's very much like to see you at the Anton Retreat 2025. There are lots of wonderful surprises.
I'd very much love to see you at the Anton Retreat 2025 as well. Reach out for more details or visit antn.org for registration available today. Virtual registration is available as well. All right, I'm Dr. Robert. I'm going to get out of here for now. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8:15 with our morning prayers, and at 9 a.m., the Science of Mind and Spirit Saturday morning conversation series tomorrow featuring Reverend Elzia Sekou. So join us for that. Until next time, I wish you peace and richest blessings. Bye now.